I'm Rashmi Sudharshan, over 15 years of experience in building enterprise solutions. For the private and public sectors, I began my career in Bangalore, and then most of my career has been in the Northeast America, and most of my customers have been there. And then I've come back, it's been 2 years since I'm back, and back to where I began my career. And now with Capital One, and some of my colleagues are in the audience joining me. And I'm a big advocate for women in tech and also STEM, early STEM education. So worked with some kids between 5 and 12-year-olds and how STEM can be introduced early. So that's passion projects of mine. So the topic that slowly Soumya nudged me into is this one. Elevating your career from software engineering to data engineering and beyond. With AI not anymore in the corner, but staring at us. And I have a very boring job. I was telling one of the audiences that the job that I have is not customer facing, but making data clean and usable for people to use it. So some of you might empathize. Not the shiny object work that most of us want to do, but it's very important to have impactful solutions in the industry. With that, so like I said, when I began, I was a back-end engineer building products, customers, enterprise solutions for the customers. And then suddenly overnight, not literally, figuratively speaking, overnight it became data intense, data specialized, data focused work on the cloud. And how did I cope with that? Things that I could have done if that journey were to reset today is what I want to work with you all today. And one thing that I've picked up, and also something that we've learned in Capital One, my colleagues will tell you that change is the only constant. What is new today is going to become legacy 2 months from today, unfortunately. So the sooner you learn, there's another new thing that comes up. So embrace change. We all have no other option, and it's okay. It's going to be overwhelming. Accept the fact that change is going to happen. And I'm going to do the best I can today, and the rest is for tomorrow. So for me, what helped here is the waves of change that have come. I started working before the cloud technology came, then the cloud came, then the mobile came, mobile technology, then the cloud, now AI. So fear is an option, intimidation is an option, but have it sit in a corner while you make time on a daily basis or whatever time works for you to set aside some amount of time to learn. So when that switch happened for me to learn cloud, learn data, so I self-taught Python 7 years ago, and then also the AWS cloud technology, and it took some time. And something that I see in with the younger folks that I work with is a lack of patience, I would say, or that, hey, I need to learn this quickly. I think some of you are really smart. Maybe I was not. So I took my time, 3 months, 6 months, sometimes 1 year to have something to show and say, okay, something came out of that. Like our previous speaker was saying, there was an impact that came or shown much later. You couldn't see it immediately. The thing is, don't give up and don't let the change intimidate you. And the second thing that helped me was leaning in on the community that I already had and the new community in a new organization whom I knew nobody, but slowly building on and leaning on your manager and leaning on the resources that were out there. Even back then, I think like 10 years ago, there was Coursera and whatnot, right? Where you can leverage and look for material and upskill. But now it's become even more easy. There's plethora of resources to upskill yourselves. And the mentoring community that I heard in the morning ties in really well into this, right? The Vidya, Gayatri, Lakshmi. It's amazing. Shakti. thank you, of how much it has impacted some of our mentees and almost changed their lives. So in my life too, we didn't have Shakti, Lakshmi, Vidya, but I'm pretty sure some of my mentors, they were that for me. To tell me, okay, it's okay to be wrong, it's okay that you're learning, or these are the things you can lean on, things like that. So there's always out there. And my passion is now, like Samya was saying, giving back to the community and do's and don'ts. All right. And the next one is, yeah, this is a thing where leveraging the resources that you have. It is the best time and also the worst time to be out there to learn something new. Because there's so many resources that are getting dropped everywhere. How do you remove the noise from substantial information? What is reliable, what is false? And these days they call it the YouTube University. Everything that you see there is not true. And so you need to be really careful on what to pick and what not to pick. And here is where some of the resources have been proving to be really good in terms of helping you. One is the deep learning from Andrew Ng. He's been in the forefront doing machine learning, doing artificial intelligence courses for more than a decade, and he knows what he's doing. Might not be the most flamboyant person in the room, but his material has substance and very well articulated in a way that you can pick and adopt. At the same time, we have well-proven courses from Amazon, as well as the AWS, which was dropped just 1 week ago, fully vetted with case studies, 10 of them for agentic use cases. So know that there are good resources, bad resources, and when you're spending time, pick on the things that will give back, and in terms of learning. So best and the worst, but know the reliable resources. And if you don't know, ask around, and people are like screaming to say, this worked for me, did you try? And the last one is rinse and repeat. Somebody was telling, being consistent, don't give up. Things are not gonna come stick to you the first go. They might not stick to you the second, third, fifth time, but it's gonna stick eventually. There is this attention deficit that we also deal with of late with social media. So being consistent, being focused is another thing that has helped a lot. And I would like to hear if anybody would want to add more resources that have really helped you in keeping up, then yeah, you guys can shout them out, something that has really proven to be a good resource that you want the rest of our community and myself to learn from. I'll wait for like a minute. Favorite courses? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Hands-on, right? Nothing like hands-on. Yeah. All right. So with that, my lessons learned have completed, but before I go there, one other thing. You might not know all the answers, and that's okay. Early in my career, I was very scared that people would interpret my questions as me being dumb. Me not, yeah, it is funny and scary. And not knowing the answers. And I felt like everybody else in the room would know the answer, so I would not ask questions. And no, please don't do that. Ask questions, raise your hand. And there's one more thing I've learned. In AWS, there are, I don't know, more than 200 services. I've lost count. Not a single person on the globe is aware of every single service that they provide. So it's okay. Even the person, I don't think even Jeff Bezos is aware of all the services that are available. And that's okay. So it's okay. Please ask questions and lean on your managers, your mentors, and the community. So a little bit, Capital One is a sponsor. I have to do this. So it's still a founder-led, 94. It's a Fortune 100 top 10 banks in the North America, and most of our customers are from North America. We are cloud first, 100% in cloud 10 years ago. I think one of the first banks to adopt cloud technology. 100 million customers, close to 40 billion in revenue, and 51,000 global associates. And the Bangalore office, Whitefield, we have a small but mighty team of 450 associates right now. With that, let's see if I can help with any questions. Anyone wants to know about the journey or the transition from software engineering to data engineering? No, that's okay. I don't need to be on. You want to? The journey?
I just want to know how you transition from software engineering to data analytics.
Yeah. So like I was telling, it was almost overnight. I kept doing only whatever back-end engineering, full stack for enterprise solutions. And almost overnight, when I switched my jobs, the scope that fell on the lap was data focused and on the cloud. And by the way, you want to also take care of the security compliance aspects as well. So again, it reminds me of one of the conversation. It just fell on the lap. So you just figure it out. So in my case, what I did was self-taught Python and AWS in a very structured way. There is a course that is called Python in 100 Days, and it's still relevant. My goodness, it's unbelievable. It saved my life. In a way that instead of switching between search after search after search, I picked up this course. Every day on the job, doing Python, as well as setting aside some work to, polish off hello world examples that always work, right? And then starting with the baby steps. So I want to reiterate here, it didn't take 3 months or 6 months. It took more time. At the end of 1 year, actually when my journey began, the first 3 months, I felt this was the worst decision I've made to take this job. And then after 6 months, I got a hang of it and I felt not bad, I can do this. And if I can do this, you can do it. So I think for data engineering, Python, PySpark is like bread and butter. Able to understand the data, and if you know the domain and the context, you're a gold mine. But it's okay if you'll get there eventually. But at least understanding how to leverage the scripting languages and learn how to slice and dice the data. And on cloud, how do you, process huge amount of data? What kind of compute you might need? That also I felt came in handy to me. I knew the infrastructure and I knew the data aspects, or at least the scripting aspects. So it was a good mashup to make me like a valuable member of the team, right? So I would say, and the resources, we are in this age where resources are so plenty. The fact that if you're part of a company or even in, it's all free right now. Like the Andrew Ng's courses that I mentioned, and Microsoft and Google, generative AI courses. It's become easy. The friction is almost gone. All you need to know is to pick up the right sources and make time and have the patience to keep at it consistently. I think that came in handy for me. But the key thing is, like Soumya was telling me, it's not going to happen like in a month or two. Gotta have the patience and believe in yourself. It's coming. So for me, it took almost a year. But there's no looking back after that. So it pays off.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Any other question?
Yes.
Yes, please. Somebody can handle the mic.
Thank you for the presentation. I resonate a lot with you because even I switched from software engineering to data engineering. I understand the technical aspects and the cloud, all those things. But how did you overcome the process hurdles? Because in software engineering, there are a set of processes that we follow, and it's been there for a while.
Yeah.
We know requirement gathering, we know design, we know verification, and then release deployment. But when you switch to data engineering, how the process side was managed? Because I've been struggling it, I'm learning the CRISP DM. There are a lot of data science project managements that happen, but still I don't think there is anything out there which actually as a methodology exists which people follow. So what do you follow as a project management practice for data analytics projects?
Is this the process you're referring to that in your workplace where there are more compliance steps that something is approved, something is not approved, you'll need to think of that, or
Yes, for
something
the
else?
release, we need to have, in software engineering, it is pretty easy. We know we have to have a project plan. We know there's a
Yeah.
high-level requirement, design document, verification plan, verification document. But in data, it's really, because it's a real struggle because you don't know what are the things that you need for audits.
Audits.
Because it's all internal, and they
Yeah.
just say, we get a requirement to just build a pipeline. We have an ETL pipeline in place. It is there in Power BI, all released, and it is all in production running within weeks.
Yeah.
So if somebody gets into the project new and they want to understand where is the starting point and where is the end point, there's nothing to really say.
So many. Yeah. So many things come to mind. I mean, audit throws me off a little bit. I mean, audits because of the domain, I think the nature of the work, there is a little bit of lack of documented process. I don't know if that is the reason. Or people in audit, it's become their muscle memory and they keep doing it. So they've not made it easier for the new folks who come in to understand the workings of it. So I don't know. But yeah, the thing is, if you work backwards from the intent, I may or may not get to the answer, but I'll try. If each time when I'm given a task, I ask, what's the intent? What are we trying to get out of this? What data are you looking for, and how will that help you? How are you going to use it? What is a use case? And that gives me a little bit of understanding of what should I go chase. And even in spite of that, if I get all the answers, my next question becomes, where do I go chase for this data in my data ecosystem or the company's ecosystem? That becomes my second problem. But at least I know what the problem is now. Once you know the problem, half the problem is solved, right? Then you go chase people and figure out where the data is. And if you have a good data ecosystem, then that is also solved for you, where you can discover the data. I'm looking for customer loan information. I'm looking for, I don't know, purchase orders of a customers. If you know where it is, the discovery also is solved within your company's ecosystem, then that also becomes easy. And the third thing is, do you have access to that data? And once that is answered, you keep going in that way. So I think I would start from the intent. What are you trying to solve? And do I have hands on the data? But process is something, if it is not there in your team, you start it. For the next person who comes in your team, you're going to document everything.
I'm doing that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Maybe in the next conference you can share.
Yes, share your journey and how you saved somebody's time.